Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com with your Tuesday morning market outlook. It's pretty quiet out there in the pre-market this morning, except for the price of gold, which is continuing to move higher. Now, we don't have any major economic numbers coming out this morning, so things should be fairly quiet. The VIX is still on a sell signal. Looks like it's starting to settle down. That is certainly supportive for higher stock prices. We saw the Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ 100 continue to move higher on Monday. We've got the open gap filled on the NASDAQ 100, and now we're looking to see if we can break through resistance at 484.38. We had the Russell 2000 fill an open gap yesterday. We saw small caps and micro caps continue to move higher. Now, what worked in the U.S. market on Monday was biotech stocks up over 3%, followed by silver miners, followed by home builders, and then the gold stocks, which were up nearly 2% on the day, trading right back up to the high from back in July. Now, looking at the Canadian market, there's the Vanguard Canada ETF making a new closing high yesterday. New closing high for the iShares for the TSX 60. Financial stocks were up. Unfortunately, energy stocks turned down yesterday with the price of crude oil rolling over. We'll take a look at the price of crude oil in a minute, but gold stocks continued to move higher on Monday. We also saw money flow back into base metals, materials, and the tech sector was up just a little on Monday, so no change in trend there. Moving on to the bond market, the TLT and the XBB were up slightly on Monday. The big news, of course, is the fact that the risk-on trade is certainly on, with money flowing back into emerging markets and junk bonds. So both of those areas of the market were they continue to move higher on Monday, so that's a good sign for the stock market. Moving on to commodities, we had crude oil roll over on Monday, joining gasoline already on a sell signal, natural gas still on a buy signal here. Closing up on the day on Monday. We didn't see a change in trend for the GLD. Had an inside day on Monday. It looks like it's going to make a new high on Tuesday. Palladium pulled back slightly on Monday, still closing above the upper channel line. No change in trend for platinum, and silver moved up, and it's at the bottom of the open gap there. So we'll see if that open gap acts as resistance or if we can cut through that on Tuesday. Looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're still on sell signals, no change in trend there. And last up this morning, railroad stocks are in the news. There's a strike happening, and we've got both CN and CP on buy signals right now. So from what it looks like on the chart, the market isn't overly concerned about a strike happening or not happening at the present time. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. Not a lot to talk about. Everything that was working on Friday worked on Monday and may continue to work on Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday morning and we'll walk through the most actively traded stocks from both sides of the border.